So you're thinking about starting a real estate team, but you just don't know what challenges that you're gonna face once you decide to actually start that team and open the doors. Well, in this video, I'm gonna go over all the challenges that I've faced over the last 4 years of being a real estate team leader. So let's dive right in the video. My name is Chris with the Empire of Real Estate YouTube channel. We create content for real estate entrepreneurs on a weekly basis. So thanks for tuning in. And as a thank you, I want to offer you my free listing presentation template. It's all fully editable on Canva. And if you want to grab that, click the link below. You can put your name, put your email in, and then we'll send you a copy of that listing presentation template so you can go crush your next listing appointment. So let's dive right into the video. If you want to become a real estate team leader, there are many things to consider and many things to think about. I started my real estate team about 4 years ago. We've had some success, we've had some failures, and all in all, I learned a lot from it because starting a real estate team and being a team leader is much different than being a solo real estate agent. Now, many solo real estate agents start real estate teams and then quickly realize they were making more money as a solo agent because they have to develop different skills, learn new skill sets, and basically do different things that pull them away from their traditional sales that they're doing on their own. And they ultimately end up losing a lot of money because they get their time away from what they're actually good at, which is selling houses and doing all the work themselves because they're most likely really good real estate agents. But when you start a team, you have to learn a lot of different things about business. And in this video, I want to go over some of the setbacks and things that you can face and some of the challenges that you might have to overcome to be successful as a team leader in real estate. Number one is systems and processes. So as a solo agent, you're probably very good at what you do. You probably have had a lot of success and you didn't really have to do any coaching or create any systems because you know what you do. You do this multiple times a day. You might close, 20, 30, 40 deals a year on your own, and you've never had to write everything down. Now, if you're super analytical and you're super systems driven, you might have this stuff already done and already written down, which is great. That puts you a step ahead of most people. But if you just operate because you know what you're doing and you don't have everything written down in a simple to understand way, then you're gonna have to do this when you start hiring agents and bringing new people on your team because you're gonna wanna train them how to do the business the way that you do the business. That way, the agents that you bring on aren't out there creating messes for you to fix. And that way they're out there, representing you in the right way because when they come on your team, that's a direct reflection of you. And you might actually be handing them off buyers and handing them off deals at some point. So you wanna make sure that they're doing the work the way you would do it yourself. Number two is talent. Finding talent in the real estate space can be a challenge as a team leader. Here's why. Agents that are mega producers that are out there selling 50, 60, 70 homes that are very talented at what they do, they're probably not gonna wanna join your real estate team. And then new real estate agents that just got their license like last week, they're gonna require a lot of training and a lot of your time pulling you out of production where you're probably making the lion's share of your money. Now, agents that are in the middle are kind of that sweet spot where they're doing 15, 20, 25 deals a year. They're in high demand. Most real estate team leaders are probably, in contact with them. They're trying to get them to join their real estate team, and you're gonna have to add a lot of value to be able to pick those agents up because there's just not that many of them in the middle like that. Number three is lead cost. Now, here's the thing. Many people don't understand the amount of money that team leaders put into leads, put into their systems, put into all the back end of building a real business that they can plug agents into and can have actual success. So when you start a real estate team, you're gonna have to provide something. And most often when real estate agents join teams, they want leads, they want training, and they want a way to lower their expenses. And if you wanna attract top tier talent, you're gonna have to provide that. So every month, you're gonna have a big monthly bill. I was spending thousands per month when I was hooked up before with a lot of these lead sources, and it can just be really expensive. And if deals aren't coming in, or if the market shifts in any which way, or you have a bad month, it can be really painful to have to come out of your own personal bank account balance and pay for your business expenses, because the bills come in no matter what. And if your team isn't producing or they're not doing the work, then you're stuck with the bill. And that's the harsh reality as a team leader, is that you have to invest a lot of money up front to be able to reap the rewards at the end, but you have to be able to stomach all the risk that you're putting in and all the upfront investment that you're investing into leads and the agents that you bring on your team. Number 4 is training. Now, training real estate agents can be a really fun thing. I actually enjoy it, but it can be really time consuming. And if you don't have any systems in place to be able to train agents, it can be a huge struggle, because you're gonna have to create all that on your own. And trust me, I'm coming out with something now for agents to help them succeed and all that kind of stuff. And it's a lot of work. So if you're still in production, if you're still out there doing deal to deal and you're, the top producer on the team, then you're gonna have to figure out time to create these trainings, or you're gonna have to hire a coach, which is more money. Real estate coaches can cost thousands of dollars a month. And that's just an additional expense on your already expensive business that has high reoccurring expenses. So if you're not careful, you can build yourself a really, really massive debt that comes in every month as a real estate team leader. And trust me, I've been there and I've done that. Now, there are ways around this. I actually just partnered with some really, really top team leaders and top coaches, and they actually provide training at no cost because I joined them in their EXP organization. So if that's something that you're interested in, definitely drop a comment below or hit the link tree and we can have a 30-minute call and talk about business building and business planning and all that kind of stuff. Because, again, this is real estate entrepreneurship, and I want to help people build actual real estate businesses that generate profit. So even if I have a quick conversation and I can, steer you away from some of the mistakes that I've made in the past, I would love to do that. So the next thing is retention. So last but not least, this is a real problem for team leaders. They take new agents on, or they take agents on that are doing well, and they only stay for a year, 2, maybe even 3 years. I've seen agents stick with me from day one, and that's a blessing, and I really appreciate them, and I always do whatever I can to help them out. But most of the time, that's not the case. People come on your team, they get what they need, and then you're the first expense that they cut, because they see teams as an added expense and an added cut out of their commission. And as soon as they get successful enough to cut that team out, that's what they oftentimes do. And then you invested all that time, all that money, all those resources into the agents, and then they ultimately leave and become your competition. Now, this is another reason I joined eXp Realty, because when they eventually do leave and become my competition, I can celebrate with them. I can help them become a leader. I can help them grow their own team. And because they're in my downline, I'm going to continue to get that benefit, and we're in financial alignment. So that's one of the coolest things I found about eXp, is the retention piece is such a game changer for team leaders and brokers, because you don't really have to worry about that, because you're building people up, you're turning them into leaders, and then when they become a leader, you actually get the reward as well. And that's one of the best things that I found about it, because that's been one of the biggest challenges that team leaders have faced in the past, is how can they retain agents? Because recruiting good agents is challenging. Retaining good agents is challenging. And then that little window that you have when they're on your team, that they're actually producing and actually generating revenue for your company and your team, that's the sweet spot. But that doesn't last very long. So you end up building this revolving door, and it's not really a great business model in my opinion. So again, these are the 5 challenges you're gonna face. If you wanna start a real estate team, I think it's something very, very good. I would do it again, and I think it's great for everybody to get involved with it, because it's gonna make you a better leader. It's gonna help you with your business skills, and ultimately, you're gonna have a little more time freedom, because before it was every deal that I sold, I had to go out and hunt for. And now I can teach other agents on my team how to do that same thing. And it's given me a little bit of leverage, and it's given me a little bit more security, because I have multiple sources of income now. So if you're a solo producer and you're thinking about starting a team, if you have the time to invest into it, I would highly suggest it. And just be aware of these 5 things, because you're gonna face them. And if you need help overcoming them, I'm always here. So again, thanks for tuning in. And if you like this kind of content for real estate entrepreneurs, definitely subscribe and hit the like button. Thanks again and have an awesome night.